there's massive political fallout. We're just about on the precipice of seeing the material fallout of the Biden administration's bungling, at best, of the eviction moratorium. We went through all of the details yesterday in terms of how we got here. And there's a real sense now that the Biden White House is trying to bail water, but there are few options for them at the moment. Meanwhile, Cori Bush, one of the newest members of the House, certainly the newest member of the Justice Democrats, or one of them, I should say, has been literally camping out on the Capitol steps for 4 nights now.
Punchbowl opens their piece on this topic with Representative Cori Bush is winning. And what a sentence.
Right. And Punchbowl, we should just say, is this sort of like insidery,
right,
Politico type.
Although, I mean, I would imagine that she doesn't see herself as winning because the fact that she has to be in this position is something that should have been avoided altogether.
Absolutely. But she is bringing attention to this situation. And I guess, and you know, this is the dilemma that you have if you are a first term, you could argue a second term congressperson. She could have done this 3 weeks ago and no one would have paid attention to it. And they would have just been like, what is she doing? And it's useless and it's silly. And then but the timing of it, and they would have been like, well, we're getting to it.
Right. But the outrage, I think, adds a little punch.
And the fact that the moratorium has expired. Right. And we are now seeing all sorts of reports of both community organizations that help renters be inundated by phone calls yesterday, and courts getting slammed with legal filings to evict people. Here is Cori Bush on the steps of Capitol Hill yesterday.
No, not really. She, my whole point for going up to talk to her was, I wanted.
She is responding to a question about a conversation she had with the Vice President Kamala Harris. All right, continue.
No, not really. She, my whole point for going up to talk to her was, I wanted to look her in her face. I wanted her to look me in my face. I wanted her to see my eyes and to look down into my soul if she could see it. Because I don't want my people, I do not want the people of St. Louis ending up on the street because of policy choices, because of failed leadership, because of passing the buck. I need my people whole and I need my people safe. St. Louis deserves that, and not only St. Louis, but all across this country, people need that. And so that's what we did. I asked her, I said, look me, I said, I need you to see my eyes. You know, my people cannot be put out on the street, you know, and she nodded, you know, and she, you know, told me to take care of myself, and you know, she's working. Yeah, she said they're working, and I do believe.
Well, she's got to say that.
I guess we'll see. That you don't know, you don't believe that she doesn't believe, or
you know what doesn't constitute. No. I mean, I don't believe Kamala Harris. You know what doesn't constitute working? Like, say you're in class and you do a class project, or you have an assignment that's due on a Friday and then you realize you didn't do it and then you scramble over the weekend to put it together to bring it in on Monday. Like, that doesn't necessarily constitute that you've been working on that project.
And one could
it's
also
already
argue,
been due. It's
right.
already been due, and everyone else has been graded. This, like,
if you're trying to get your folks to send in a note saying that you were sick,
well,
and that's why you didn't get it done. That's also working.
That's we've all tried that, but I don't think that necessarily applies in this case.
Well, I don't know. Here's Gene Sperling, basically doing. He is the one of the White House on the economic team. Here he is, basically doing that, trying to assure the press that something's going to happen.
Given the rising urgency of the spread of the Delta variant, the president has asked all of us, including the CDC, to do everything in our power to look for every potential legal authority we can have to prevent evictions.
Yeah. Now, the problem is, of course, he then goes on to say basically, like, let the states need to figure this out. They knew what the plan was weeks ago. They just made a decision to just blow it off. We know that it was, I mean, honestly,
they don't want to do anything.
They
don't want to do
Sperling
anything
was
with foreign policy or this.
No, I mean, there were people in there who wanted to extend it, according to the reporting. White House lawyers said that if you do that, you risk the Supreme Court rolling things back even more. Now, we mentioned that with Diane yesterday. You can be skeptical or not skeptical as to those legal assessments. But if that was the assessment, then they should have brought this up with Congress 3 or 4 weeks ago.
But were they going to go back in time? They could do what the Republicans do. Do it anyway, and if it gets challenged at the Supreme Court, you buy extra weeks and months for the people who are getting evicted right now. Okay, you say the conditions of the pandemic have changed. Fine, that's like the justification that they need to ensure people have housing. Okay, we don't want to spread COVID because we're worried about the economy. Great, that's like their neoliberal justification. Fine. Use that, allow the CDC to extend the moratorium, and then deal with it down the line. The Supreme Court can't go back in time and then evict people in the months that this protected them. It's such BS. They just are scrambling at the last minute because they want to kick the can down the road, and now they're getting blowback from it, and they don't want to deal with it, which is one of the through lines of this administration thus far.
Folks, there's more of what you've just saw where that came from. That's if you hit the subscribe and like button. Thank you. Really, thank you.